Morning. Ready for day 2. Don't know what that thing is in the sky. Could be sun. Hopefully it stays, but there's plenty grey cloud. So we better get moving because it looks like there's a potential rain this afternoon. I hope we got a snout like yesterday because that was brutal towards the end. It was really hard going, especially with the wind in your face as well. And then the poncho kind of was redundant because all of the rain just went down my face, down my chin, and then inside the poncho anyway. So I got in and everything was just soaked. But we're dry, we're ready, we're sore, but it's good to go. Alright, first 15 minutes done. Well, 17. Few sore bits from yesterday, so on the crease of my toe, my pushing foot, there's a big blister, so that's fun. And then it just kind of feels like I've done leg day, but on different legs. So like certain exercise on one leg and then opposite exercises on the other, so everything's a bit achy and a bit sore, but nothing we can't deal with. It's dry, hopefully it stays that way. Yeah, so heading down the coast again. So after this week, don't ever invite me down the coast because I'll say no. But it's the most skatable route to get over to South Shields basically and other places. The thing that took the most time yesterday was kind of navigating all the pavements. They were like all over the place, so you couldn't really get any speed up in that. So thank God for cycle paths like this one. I mean, this is ideal. Why can't we have this all the time? Lovely and smooth. Just have to look out for the odd twig or cyclist lights coming up now. So yeah, not as many stops today. Just going over to Jarrow and then through into Heaven and back. I'm hoping as long as it stays dry, then we can make some half decent time. It probably took me 2 hours longer yesterday because of the weather, but we'll see. Oh, covering up half the camera. It was rough. We just gotta think the reason that you're doing it. People like that lady on the ferry, families like that are impacted every day, and that you don't even realise. Like, I still find it so spooky that she came over and had pretty much the same as what my mum did, albeit kind of a little bit more contained. So yeah, just gotta remember the reason why you do it. It doesn't matter how tired you get or how sore you get. It's nothing on what people with cancer are going through. So I'm gonna cross this road, but I'll speak to you all soon. Along this road, isn't it? Is that a good sign? I hate this road. It's that one again. It's gravelly as anything, but it's downhill as well, so you're kind of like fighting going a bit faster. But the path gets so narrow. Further down there, it gets so narrow, like there's hardly anywhere to go. And also, on the left-hand side, there's loads of buzzy things. So if you know me, I don't do buzzy things. Like, this scares the life out of me. So it's kind of a fighting the fear of either bees, wasps, and buzzy things, or cars coming that way. I did try and skate on the road this bit yesterday on the way home and got tooted at by a cyclist. So No, not by a cyclist, by a car. Cyclist having a horn would be a bit weird. So yeah, they obviously don't like cyclists. That guy there. So I think they're gonna like a skateboarder even less. Suck it up. It's nice and warm. It's dry. Let's crack on, eh? Look at this, man. This is too close to buzzy things. Like, where am I supposed to go? I don't do nature. This isn't good. The sun's out. Thank God. We have sun. There's a cloud, but pedestrian bumps. They're a pain in the arse, by the way. Those things there, the bubbles. What a pain in the hoop. And a special shout out to the person who decided that the bubbles weren't good enough, so they were going to make them in lines. So they have horizontal lines. I went face first over one of them yesterday. Like, you've got to be a special sort to invent them and think they're a good idea. Just put them in the way people travel, makes it much easier. Never mind. Rant over. It's a bit busier down here today. Why couldn't we have had this yesterday? Hi. So, stop number one. Bit of an unplanned one, but it kind of came to me as I was on the way around. I'm at Cullercoats Beach. So, the mum and I brought Foster and Scarlett here a few years ago now. It was kind of coming towards the end of lockdown, and it was one of those days where it was like 30 odd degrees. It was like so hot. It was like being away on holiday. And we sat down there by the wall underneath the blue tent, and the beach was packed, absolutely packed. Like, you couldn't move. It was like there'd never been a pandemic. But we won't get into all that. But it was a lush day. She'd brought like massive spades along. I think we still got them in the garage. And then, of course, had to finish with as ever, a blue ice lolly or a blue ice cream or something along those lines. From the little hut down there. It was just a lush afternoon. It was good. So I'm at the pedestrian tunnel. It's taken 2 3/4 hours. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough today. Like, everything hurts. And I get here and the world's fucking biggest escalator isn't working, so it looks like we're walking. What a nightmare. The state of that. I mean, it feels like I've done leg day, so going down these stairs does not help. Oh, never mind. Well, that lasted long. So, I'm in the cyclist tunnel, and then I've just come over the tannoy, and I've got to carry the skateboard. Now, if you could tell me any reason why, and there is absolutely bugger all here, and I'm in the cyclist one. I can understand how I was in, like, I get it, like, you don't want pedestrians getting taken out by somebody on a skateboard, but I was literally, like, some guy came through on his bike, and I was like, oh, that's different. And he's like, they'll have your mind, they'll be on the tannoy within 3 seconds, straight on. Like, come on, man, have a day off, eh? Hi everyone. So stop number one is, to be fair, it's an unexpected stop because I forgot about this place until I was riding along and thought, like, I'm pretty sure it's closed. So I checked the map and it was literally just sort of a little bit further up the road, so thought we'll stop by. But this is Dougie's Tavern. So it's a pub in Jarrow, which is just over the road from where my mum used to work, which I'll take you to in a second. But this is the venue. So for those of you that don't know, in my youth I went through a bit of a goth phase of, like, or emo phase we'll call it. Goth's probably a bit harsh. It depends if you speak to Cam or not. Cam will make it look like I was dressed as the Undertaker all the time, which wasn't the case. But anyway, in sixth form, so I started a band, just doing all the emo stuff, and with my mum having close links to this place through working over the road, she organised us a gig in there, and it wasn't just a kind of you're playing and all that. She had posters made, she had tickets made, she literally rounded up as many people as possible to come along. Like, she doesn't do things by halves. If you want to do something and she can help you do it and make it special, then she will. And that's exactly what she did. Like, I'm sure somebody videoed it as well. Thank God that video has gone into oblivion. I don't know who's got it now. But yeah, this is the place. We were kind of in this back room filled with loads of people from sixth form, family and all that sort of stuff, and we probably thought we were the best thing since sliced bread. I dread to think what we looked like, but it was good. So I'm gonna have a little sit for 5, and then it's starting to spit now, which is typical. But then, so next I'm gonna take you over to where she used to work, which is literally just there. Literally just over the road. I'll take you there, talk a little bit about there, then I'm going to head round to where I used to play football. We've got a few stories that involve her from there. Then it's back to the pedestrian tunnel, walk through there. Still don't get why you can't be on a skateboard in the cyclone tunnel, but never mind. And then back up the coast for home. I'm not gonna lie, stuff hurts today. The blister kind of between the ball of my foot and my big toe, it's in the crease. I can feel it, it hurts. Like, the rest kind of is muscular pains. It feels a bit like I said before, like doing leg day, so the top of my calf where I'm pushing feels kind of really stretched and stuff, same as with my Achilles. And then on the other leg, it's the thigh, just from kind of, you're constantly doing like a little squat every time you push, and if you're going uphill, it's not fun. But again, we're not moaning, we'll get through the miles, and then we've got potentially quite a long day tomorrow, so we can kind of have a bit of a shorter day on Friday to finish at Maggie's, but the longer day is all kind of route dependent, trying to find a route to get to Prudhoe where my mum lived, which isn't going to be like horrific or just constantly like all over the shop or gravel paths and stuff. So got some homework to do, got my cousin on it as well, he's helping, so we'll see. Right, I'll take you over the road. Right, so I'm outside my mum's old work. This is Coppergate House, just behind me. So this is a hostel for homeless people that have kind of drug and alcohol problems. So it's kind of like, I think it's a bit of a wet hostel. Doesn't really help that it's over the road from a pub, but she worked here for quite a while and she really liked it. She organised all sorts for the residents. We'd have, she'd organise football matches against sort of other similar places in South Shields. A couple of the guys that worked at the centre in South Shields I ended up playing for a Sunday league team with them as well, and some of the residents ended up on that team, and they were absolutely brilliant. They just had a bit of a rough time in life, a few wrong decisions here and there or whatever else, but they were just a lot of them were just genuinely really nice people. And I think if you know my mum, you know she likes to help people, and that's exactly what she wanted to do. I think this place, she, like I say, she did some brilliant work. Football tournaments we had, I'd go along and referee. We'd have a team coming in and playing from sixth form, like just all sorts of stuff going on. Like, and we'd end up finding ourselves there. I don't even know why. I don't know whether we were just kind of picking something up, or we were just waiting for something, but we'd be in there, and you'd regularly see people with kind of 4 cans of special brew for their breakfast and stuff like that, and that was just the norm. But everybody loved her. I think that's one thing I've noticed with the sheer like generosity of people, and everybody's comments is that everybody loved my mum. And I know when it's your mum you're biased, but she was special. Like, she really was. Are you trying not to cry? She just saw the best in people, regardless of what you've done, your background. She will find something good in you, and it shone through. And if she could help you, she would. She was just lush. Right, I best move before I cry. So this was the main reason for coming today. Now, to everybody else it looks like it's just a field, but to me this was the first home pitch for the first Sunday League team I ever played for. So following on from the guy that ran the school team, Mr. English, he ran a team called Jarvis St. Bede's, which were actually technically the school year below us. But there was me and another kid that were born in opposite beds. That were born so late in the school year that we could play for this team. So he asked us to go and play. And it's funny, because when I started school, I said to Mum, there's a kid with the same birthday as me. And she mentioned his name, and I was like, how do you know? And she's like, they were in the bed opposite. So we'd kind of been there day one, came all the way around, and then at kind of 15, 16, ended up playing for the team together. And my mum was there, rain, hail or shine. My brother ended up playing for one of the younger teams, and so did my cousin Michael. And they were down the far end. That was the junior church. This was our pitch up here. And the team, we had a good team, to be fair. And we ended up going to the national, because it was a registered boys club. We went to the National Boys Club tournament in Blackpool. So there was teams from up here, like Red Youth Boys Club, but there was also teams from like Northern Ireland and places like that. And my mum came down because obviously 15-year-old lads, we need some helping hands. So she came down, and we won. We won on penalties in the final. Not to blow my own trumpet, but I scored in the final and scored the penalty. So I was buzzing when my mum came over and was like, there's a £5 per goal. I'm sure she must have thought her money was safe, because I played right back and never scored. So that was me happy. But she got, because we obviously won the tournament, we got trophy, medal, all that sort of stuff. And then the club presentation, she got support of the tournament. And when we went through her stuff, I found the trophy. So I've got the trophy sat on my little like set of drawers with a photo and all that kind of stuff. I've got a supporter of the tournament trophy. So plan is now leave here. I'm probably going to call at the pub around the corner to fill the water bottle up, because it's empty. It's now starting to rain a little bit more, so I'm hoping this is kind of as bad as it gets and it stops pretty quick. But yeah, back to the pedestrian tunnel and then through home. So another example has just happened of, one, people just being really, really generous, and two, how far Maggie's reaches. So I was just riding past one of the local car washes, and there was a Turkish guy just stood outside because they weren't very busy because it's just rained. And he stopped me and he was like, just asked about skating. He was like, I tried and nearly fell over, kind of, how do you get the confidence, how long have you been doing it and stuff. And I'd mentioned like why I was doing it. And it turns out he studies architecture, and his case study was the Maggie Centre in Oldham. So we got chatting and he was asking about kind of the link and all that sort of stuff, and like how he'd go about kind of donating, and if he could share it on his Instagram and all that sort of stuff, which was amazing. And then just randomly just handed over some money. I mean, it was like £3, but like, there you go. But £3, he didn't have to. There's no obligation. Like, we didn't say anything, but just because he wanted to. It was lush. So back time out. Just been told I missed the mother of all downpours. You're right. Slight stroke of luck. Let's hope I don't catch it up. How embarrassing. You come out dressed like that and someone's got the same outfit on as you. There's a guy just walked past and I'm like, that looks a familiar t-shirt. And yeah, he was on the phone, so he gave me like a little friendly nod. We'll take that. Nearly home. Day 2 done. I am knackered. Thankfully, the sun was out, but it seems like first half goes alright, and then second half your legs are just done. So it takes 7.5 hours to do 33 miles. So we'll take that. Video uploaded ASAP. Thank you for all the lovely comments and people sharing it and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning.